We want to solve for a variable in terms of other variables in a rational equation. Rational equation just means that there are variables in the denominators. Remember, means that it can be written as a ratio. This is problem type 1, which is assigned to you, but I'm going to do 2 examples, one of which is a little more complicated than this. So we're told to solve for A in the given equation. Now, there are multiple ways to handle this. I can multiply both sides of this equation by FA. And that gives me that MA is equal to 9F. And then divide both sides of the equation by M. And that gives me that A is equal to 9F over M. Be careful that you use the correct capital or lowercase letters because they're not interchangeable. Not in mathematics. In mathematical formulas, those letters stand for something, and a capital A stands for something different. Now, the other way to attack this is that I can begin with the original equation, M over F is equal to 9 over A, and I can take the reciprocal of both sides. What I can't do is write clearly, but that's okay. Okay, and then multiply both sides by 9. And note that I get the same answer. Okay, looking at a problem that's a little more complicated here, I'm asked to solve for a variable that is inside the parentheses. Now, I can distribute the W first, and I get WV1 minus WV2 over 8 is equal to S. Multiply both sides by 8. I want to solve for V2. I'm going to add WV2 to both sides and subtract 8S from both sides. And that leaves me with WV1 minus 8S is equal to WV2. And then divide the entire equation by W. That leaves me with WV1 minus 8S over W is equal to V2. The other way I can solve this is, as I like to do, get rid of the fraction first. And that leaves me with V1 minus V2. Be sure to use your parentheses, they count. Is equal to 8S. And divide both sides by W. Now that I've divided by W, the parentheses are no longer necessary, so they can just go away. Now I'm going to, I can subtract V1 from both sides, or I can add V2 to both sides and subtract 8S over W from both sides. I'm going to subtract V1 from both sides. So negative V2 is equal to 8S over W minus V1. And then I can take the negative of each side, or multiply both sides by -1, and that leaves me with V2 is equal to, and here's an important thing to be able to see, that the negative of this is V1 minus 8S over W. And that is the same answer that I had to begin with. If you'll notice, if I simplify this fraction right here, this is the same thing as WV1 minus 8S